This is a running through the end user flows when email verification is going to be enabled. So going to run three different scenarios. One is unauthenticated unentitled user is just visiting the site and then starting a new trial. That's the first one. The second one is going to be for a non-trial registration. So a user visiting the site and just registering on the site with no trial involved. And then the third one is going to be an already existing user that has not verified their email address, and then they're signed in now on the site and they want to request a trial. So these are the three scenarios. So I'm going to pick a different site for each one. Let's start with PingSheet. So again, first one scenario is unauthenticated user. As you can see, I have a new incognito window. Doesn't have any, not on the VPN, and then I don't have any, this is the first time I'm visiting the site. And then I'm going to be requesting a trial. So assuming that I've gone through some content, I like the content now, I'd like to start a trial, which I could start from any location on the site. So I'm going to be using this tool that's going to give me a different email address. I'm going to copy it, and just for testing, this is being done on the UAT environment. Because this is a trial registration, I'm being asked for job title and phone number, and then I'm going to add. Okay. Now, once I click on Start Trial, I'm going to be sent to this page, which is new with email verification. So a trial registration, email verification for trial registration, email verification is going to be a mandatory step. So I have to complete email verification in order to start the trial, and the steps here detail that. If the user attempts to click next without verifying an email, they will get an error message telling them that they have to do a email verification. If they also attempt to go to other pages, other links on the page, they will stay on this page, and it'll tell them that they have to do next to complete their trial. So a user cannot essentially move out of this page until they have verified their email address and then click next. However, if they do want to abandon their trial request, we are telling them here what to do. If you would like to abandon the trial request, please log out and log back in, and that's what they can do here. They can log out, log back in. Their account would have been created, but no trial access would have been granted. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this email. So this is the test email that I was sent. So the user would have received, as you see, two email messages, one for account registration, so they can come back to it, and then another one for email verification, and it's branded by for products and different verticals. So simulating what the user will do is they'll click on verify. I'm just gonna copy it here because I want it to go to this window, and this is me clicking on that one. So they'll get an email verification completed message. It's going to stay on for 2 minutes, and then they will be redirected. So user now just verified their email address and have gone on to the next step. As you notice that this is a new tab because they would have clicked on a link in an email. If they do close this one and go back to the first one here and click next, it'll take them to exactly the same page as this one. And I can do that here just to illustrate. Okay, and then user, essentially here we're making it easier for the user to continue their trial request from either one, whether from the email verification link or from their original page that they were on. Notice that until now, the trial access also has not been done, so they have to continue these steps. So here they're being asked to do their email preferences. We click next, and then asked to select personalization options for my view, and then this is the step where they will complete registration and start the trial. And that's the message that they're going to get. Congratulations, your trial request is processed successfully. You will be redirected in 5 seconds and they'll be taken to the site. And now I can verify that I can have access to the content. I see the trial messaging here. And on my account also, no email verification indicators or messaging, all that's done. And my subscriptions, I am in trial for Pink Sheet that expires on March 20th. Okay, 7 days trial. All right, so that was the first scenario, which was an unauthenticated, unentitled user request starting a trial registration. So getting out of that, going into the second scenario, which is going to be a non-trial registration. So I'm going to pick a different site. A new incognito window that has nothing, no cookies or any sessions on the site, and I'm not on VPN. Okay, so again, this is I'm not going to start trial, I'm just going to click on register. And we'll see the differences in email verification between this scenario and the other scenario. So I'm going to copy this. Okay, just going to copy this new email address, use it for registration. Okay, tick this box and click register. Okay, so notice that it's unlike the trial registration, I'm not being asked to email verify on this page. I'm taken into enrollment. However, there's a reminder messaging here that please verify your email address, which I can ignore. So this is an optional now because this is a non-trial registration. So I can select my newsletters, click next, do my preferences. Again, same messaging is up here. Click next. And now the last step here, and because it's optional, it's at the end and it gives me the option to resend the message in case I cannot find it, but also gives me the option to just complete the registration without doing email verification at all. And if you notice that if we go back to my email here, I will have, again, 2 emails received. One is for the account registration and one for the email verification, which I'm not going to do yet. So again, I'm just going to go complete my registration. This is a non-trial registration. I do not have access. User does not have access to anything. So no. That's why email verification isn't mandatory. However, when they go on the site, on article pages, they won't see content. They'll see the subscription CTA, and they'll see the email verification CTA, which is on article pages. It is not on home pages and topic pages, but it is also on the My Account pages. So all of the My Account pages will have this banner, and next to their contact information, they'll have this one to resend the email verification. Okay, that is this scenario. Now, if I go back here and actually, so copy this, so what's going to happen when the user verifies, I as if the user has clicked on the email link and verified. They'll confirm, the system will confirm that their email has been verified, and then they'll be taken back to the site. Again, they can navigate here or there. It's up to them, but they'll get the same experience. Now, if they click on an article, no email verification messaging here. And if I refresh this page, no email verification messaging here as well. And the user obviously does not have any subscriptions because they've just done a free registration. Okay, that is the second scenario. The third scenario is for an existing user that does not have, that has not verified their email address. And again, I'm going to create a new window, new session information. And I'm going to repeat what I just did because I'm going to do a non-trial registration first. And similar to the same to what I have just done, I'm going to continue enrollment, selecting my newsletter preferences, following some items, ignoring email verification, and again ignoring email verification, seeing the messaging but ignoring them. Now, this is an existing user who has not verified their email address, and they can see that when they go to article pages as well as my account pages. So now this user, after having this free registration, at one point, whether they log out, log back in at any time, they decide to start a trial request. So that's what I'm going to do. So since they have done free registration, the first thing that they're going to get is they need to confirm their details. So the job title and the phone numbers are the two additional mandatory fields for trial access. So they'll get that message. They click next here. And then they're taken back into the mandatory email verification step. Again, because they're requesting access, email verification is mandatory. So again, the same behavior. If they try to click next, they'll get a message saying that they have to verify. If they try to go somewhere else, they'll get a message saying that they need to, if they want to continue their trial request, they have to email verify. But if they want to abandon the trial request and don't want to email verify, because maybe they didn't own the email address that they have put in at the beginning of registration, for example, they can log out and log back in and still have this free registration with no access. So I'm going to go back to this email. If they are indeed the owners of that email address and they do want to continue that request, they can go into their inbox. They have access to it, and then click that verify link, which will take them into the verification step, and then it'll take them back to enrollment. And the reason we do that, even though I've just done that a few minutes ago, is that I have the reason I this message is actually interesting. I haven't seen this before, but even though they have just done re-enrollment before, we have no way of knowing when they have originally registered. They could have registered a week or a month or a year ago, and now they're requesting a trial request. So they're requesting a trial. So they get back into re-enrollment. Again, their trial has not completed until they actually do this step. So until they finish re-enrollment again, and they click on complete registration. And that's what they get here is, again, a congratulations that the trial request has been processed successfully, and they get sent back to where they started. And again, all of the email verification messaging is gone. And if they do go into the, now their trial has started, you can see they have a subscribe button instead of start trial. And if they go into content, they'll see the content, and they'll have the trial, the trial messaging here. That's essentially the 3 scenarios and that cover email verification changes that are going to be released.